Hello, my name is Brian Keller. I'm a UAW member. I belong to Local 1248. I got hired with the corporation back in June 7th, 1999 as a housekeeper, janitorial services. But the purpose of me making this video is because very unhappy with my International UAW at this point. Now, like I said, I was housekeeping, and I got scabbed out by my own union, by the UAW. They brought caravan nights in, a contract house, and unionized them behind our backs and pushed us out of our jobs. This is a deal that the UAW made with the corporation, the little backdoor deal. That just proves that the International is looking out for their own interest. See, I remember when they scabbed out housekeeping, the UAW told us, International, they said it's best to save the body and cut off the limb. Well, the membership are the limbs, and the UAW International is the body. They're saving themselves and cutting us off. They're killing us. It's truly unethical to bring a contract house in and unionize them. They're an at-will company. Now, why would you scab your own members out? Why would you agree to scab out your own members? Your members pay union dues. You're supposed to represent us in our interest, not your own. Outside of the UAW International scabbing out their members with the contract house and unionizing them behind our backs. Now, some way or another, during the bankruptcy, they negotiated to have GM and Chrysler stock. Now, that's a conflict of interest. Now, how is the International supposed to negotiate in the members' favor if you got GM and Chrysler stock? The International is not going to do anything to jeopardize that stock. So again, outside of scabbing out your members with contract houses, now you got GM Chrysler stock. You can't even negotiate for us anymore. So my thing is this: you scabbed out housekeeping. You couldn't protect security. UAW couldn't protect St. Louis. The UAW International couldn't even protect Detroit Axle. Detroit Axle took the pay cut. And what happened? They shut the doors. Those people lost their jobs. The members lost their jobs. And they sent those jobs overseas. Now my thing is this, International UAW, Bob King, General Holyfield, if you can't protect Detroit Axle, you can't protect housekeeping, St. Louis, or security, how are you supposed to protect the rest of your membership? See, you're more concerned, International's more concerned on getting more membership than they are protecting the members that they have now. See, they want a free lunch. They want to sit on their ass and do nothing and take our union dues and say, be happy you have a job. Well, you know what, International? You wouldn't have a job without your membership. And you remember something else. I got hired in to this corporation by the corporation. I didn't get hired in by the UAW. But I do pay the UAW. So the UAW is supposed to be working for me. Now you got to understand why I'm a little upset. So you scabbed me out. You scabbed my job out. We ain't had a local agreement since 2003. So our rights keep getting violated. Why? Because we have no rights contractually anymore. Because we ain't got no local agreement. So they keep changing things as they go along. while you keep continuing to collect my union dues. The facility is dirty. Sometimes unsafe working conditions. You know, somebody might hit an asbestos line, and guess what? They rope off 8 feet of the area. Like that asbestos ain't going to go any further than that. Where's the UAW? Where's the safety rep? It's no big deal. This is a bunch of crap. You call up the region, you call up International, nobody wants to do nothing. Be happy you have a job. That's what they tell you. But like I said, I'm paying you union dues. You're supposed to be working for me. I don't work for you. If you can't handle the job, step aside. You don't own these jobs. You're here to represent. That's it. And you're not doing it. So you might manipulate and scare other folks, the other membership, but you don't scare me. You're corrupt. You have no morals, and you're taking advantage of your membership. Now, outside of scabbing out your membership with contract houses and taking out GM Chrysler stock, don't that make you Wall Street? So you're no longer the 99%. Now you're the 1%. You're part of Wall Street. You've been bought by Wall Street. You can't negotiate in our favor. It's a contract. It's a conflict of interest now. You're corporate watchdogs. That's why we ain't got no pay raises. That's why we keep losing stuff. You're here putting your thumb on us, threatening us, showing up to the polling stations, shoving this contract down our throats, and telling us to vote for it, or you won't have a job. But like I said, if you can't protect security or housekeeping or Detroit Axle, I mean, hell, Detroit Axle took a huge pay cut. They dropped down to $14 an hour or something like that. You couldn't even protect them. If you can't protect them at $14, how are you going to protect them at $30? See, your interest is just getting membership, getting free money. It's not protecting your membership that you have now. You can't even protect us. And the purpose of a union is to protect your membership, not to scab them out, not to take out GM Chrysler stock. You're a union. You're not supposed to be stockholders. I can't even get the equipment or the materials to do my job. Every day I come into work and my supervisor tells me to go, "You're a grown man. I shouldn't have to hold your hand. Go find your own equipment." Well, the equipment's broke. It's outdated. We're all fighting for equipment because you keep bringing in more two-tier. And there just ain't enough equipment. Now, it's funny how the corporation got the money to plant bushes out front or paint the damn floor, but you ain't got the money to buy us equipment. Painting the floor don't make money. Planting bushes out front don't make money. We make the money, but we can't make money without equipment or supplies. The common sense. Where's the common sense? Every day I complain about these things. Where's the UAW at? Where are they at? How come nobody's protecting our rights? How come nobody's getting us equipment and supplies to do the job? Why is it that management can be threatening and intimidating to us, and there's no recourse? But here, I put them on Front Street and tell management, I can't do my job until you do yours, and all of a sudden I'm getting fired for telling the truth. I'm getting fired for doing my job. Because my thing is this. I've never gotten a complaint on my job performance. Never. So why would I even get fired if I'm doing my job? If I'm doing my job, management has no right to say anything to me. Why would they bother saying anything to me if I'm doing my job? No, I'm doing my job the best of my ability with what little you guys give me. If I don't have the equipment and supplies to do the job, what do you want me to do? If I got to come in and waste a whole hour in the morning looking for a Taylor Dunn or a trailer or a scanner or a battery, man, I'm going through like 6 batteries, 7 batteries a day. How am I supposed to do my job? Stop investing in paint and bushes and invest in the equipment. And then once we're able to make money because we have new equipment, we have the tools to do the job, then you go paint the floors and make your signs and plant your bushes, whatever you're going to do. This is wrong. You guys are sitting there putting a facade on. All these joint ventures, these logistics. It's a bunch of crap. It don't mean shit if you don't buy us the necessary equipment and supplies to do the job. Your logistics, your joint ventures, uh, all this other crap that you guys seem to come up with don't mean shit if you don't have the supplies or the equipment to do the jobs. International, Holyfield, Bob King, stop sitting on your ass. Negotiate and represent your membership. Because I'm going to tell you and I'm going to promise you this. When we fall, you'll fall. That's a guarantee. Do I look like I'm playing? Am I not serious enough for you? Don't ever think with your arrogance that you're too big to fall. You remember what the union is about. The purpose of the union is to represent the membership, not to scab them out, not to take GM and Chrysler stock and become part of Wall Street and become corporate watchdogs. That's what you are. You know, when this corporation that I work for filed bankruptcy, I put a request in to the company. I requested the information on how the UAW and the corporation negotiated caravan nights. Now the corporation refused to give it to me. So then I filed a complaint with the National Labor Relations Board. Well, at the time of filing the complaint, of course, the company filed bankruptcy. And guess who took over? The government. Well, guess what? The National Labor Relations Board is an entity of the government. So when I filed my complaint and tried to get the information through the Freedom of Information Act, I didn't know there was another law that supersedes the Freedom of Information Act. It's called the Zipper Clause. Look it up. The Zipper Clause gives the union and the corporation the right to seal certain parts of the contract so the membership can't see it. So my thing is this. If the UAW is really in the interest of their membership and not the corporation, Why would they seal any parts of those contracts? See, if you're being truthful and upfront with us, why would you seal the contract? Certain parts of it under the zipper clause. We should have a right to see every aspect, every word of that contract. It's unethical for you to hide any part of that contract. But see, the National Labor Relations Board turned down my request. They said because it falls under the zipper clause. Well, guess what? It's just a coincidence that the company filed bankruptcy, the government took over. The National Labor Relations Board is an entity of the government, and they shut down my request because it wasn't in the best interest of the government, since now governments are running businesses. Now, I'm still trying to figure out how a contract house is unionized through an at-will company. And how is that in the best interest of the membership? International, Bob King, General Holyfield. Don't say you weren't there. You were there with Ghettofinger when all this went down. How is this in the best interest of us down here below? Did you forget about us? Huh? You didn't forget about your family, did you? Or your friends with this nepotism, bringing in your family members and your friends and bringing them in as a two-tier. Well, how come I can't get a friend or a family member a job? Why is that? It's about knowing the right people, right? About the backdoor deals that you make, hooking yourselves up. So now you got a contract house that's unionized. You got the two-tier that's unionized. And you got the high seniority people that are unionized. So now you got three groups of people making three different rates. Knowing that that's going to cause division, you know it. Why do you want the division? Because you want us to fight amongst each other so we ain't watching you screw us. Because we're too busy fighting on the floor. Hell, we don't even have solidarity with the rank, let alone the two-tier or caravan knights. There is no unity. But see, you guys show up at the International shows up at the polling stations. They shove this contract down your throat. Uses a little scare tactics. You won't have a job tomorrow if you don't vote for this. Be happy you have a job. Well, don't get me wrong. I'm blessed to have this job. Ain't no doubt about it. But you know what? You wouldn't have a job without your membership, International. You remember, I got hired through the corporation. I didn't get hired through the UAW. But again, I'm going to say it again. I'm paying union dues. I'm paying you to do a job. You're supposed to be working for the membership. And you're not. You're scabbing your membership out with contract houses. You become stockholders. You got GM Chrysler stocks, and now you're part of Wall Street. You're part of the 1%, no longer the 99%. You don't protect the interests of your membership. You're more concerned about getting more membership than you are protecting the members you got now. All you want is the union dues. You want a free lunch. So how's it that like I keep saying, you can't, if you couldn't protect security or housekeeping, St. Louis, Detroit Axle, how do you expect to protect us? We ain't had a local agreement since 2003. When are you going to bring your ass down here, show your ugly faces, and force the local unions to get a contract? I don't care if you have to participate and help them get the contract. Bring your ass down here and get us a contract. Because I'm going to tell you something, you're not going to get no more membership. It's only a matter of time the membership's going to get smart and realize you can't protect them anymore. And all you're doing is taking their money. You're a glorified pimp. You're thugs trying to scare somebody. Do I look scared? Brother, I'm willing to die for a cause. We'll see if you are. All right? This is my livelihood, see? And if you don't care about your membership, why should I care about you? Why should I care about the International UAW if you don't care about your membership? You're more concerned about union dues and nepotism, bringing in the family and friends and hooking them up. When are you going to start protecting the memberships, the members that have been in, that have been paying union dues for all these years? Talk about, oh, well, we got to pick our fights. Okay, got to pick the fight. When are you going to start fighting? When? You're weak. You're corporate watchdogs. You work for Wall Street. You're weak. You can't protect us no more. My rights get violated every day. You come out with this flex schedule. Okay, that's fine and dandy. Company says this is what it's going to be. This is the flex schedule. But it's not in writing, see? There's the way it got rolled out on the local level, because we don't have a local agreement, we have nothing in writing. So one week they tell you, okay, you're working Tuesday through Saturday, 6 o'clock start time. Then a couple of weeks later, now they want to, well, guess what? Tuesday through Friday, you're going to come in at 6. We're going to make you come in at 5 Saturday. So you keep changing my start time during the week. What's the purpose of the union? Don't you think I have a life outside of work? I have children. I have events to go to. I have things to do. But I can't plan nothing because guess what? The flex schedule keeps changing. You want a flex schedule? Put it in writing, put it in concrete, and seal it, damn it. Stop changing it. You ain't shit, International. You hear me? You ain't shit. My thing is if corporations, American U.S. corporations don't support American jobs, don't support American fucking corporations. Boycott their ass. Now, I know the new National Defense Act might say I'm a terrorist for making this video. I'm far from being a terrorist. I served my country for 4 years in the Navy. Desert Storm, 90-91. I ain't a terrorist. I believe in the Constitution and the fabric of this country. And this country is getting pissed away by the Democrats and the Republicans. You can have the Republicans control the House and the Senate, and guess what? Nothing changes. You can have the Democrats control the House and the Senate, and nothing changes. There's no difference between the two. How do the Dems and Republicans get back in office? Through Wall Street. Wall Street gives them donations for their campaigns. They get back in. They take care of their districts. They take care of their own. Why the rest of us get screwed? This country's in a huge deficit. Every union's fallen. You got the Republicans coming out after these unions big time. Municipality unions, government unions, the private sector unions. even if you're non-union. Everybody's losing their jobs and their houses and their livelihoods. The American way, the American dream. Everyone, whether you're union or not. Why? Because these corporations are greedy. It's a global economy. You're expected to lose profits in North America because you're in competition with foreign corporations that came over here. But guess what? They're losing profits over there because we came over there and we're making up the difference. So you're talking, you just don't have the North American market anymore. Now you got South America, you got Europe, you got Asia, you got a huge market. So you're making more money, you're making more profits. But see, you're trying to make it a loss. You don't talk about the global profit that you make. You just talk about the loss that you made in North America. You guys are cooking the books. How do you think Enron fell? Kmart. Kmart turned around and bought Sears in the middle of bankrupt. And you wanted to call it a merger or some crap like that. It's bullshit. All these people got screwed. And you can't say this is a coincidence. All these corporations, these banks, the housing market, countries are all falling economically. Governments are getting overthrown. Libya, Iraq, Syria, Egypt. Is that a coincidence or what? Now all this stuff is intertwined some way or another because it's all global. See, we're all intertwined economically. We're all in competition globally. We're all fighting for jobs. We're all fighting for our livelihoods. While the government sits up there and does whatever they do for themselves, line their pockets, whatever. These corporations lining the shareholders' pockets. General Motors filed bankruptcy, okay? And how is it that 8 months later they came up with $9 billion to pay back the government? How is that? All that overhead costs, that's a big corporation. How'd you come up with $9 billion, General Motors? It's all that money you make overseas, so you just keep it overseas. Then you just show you the loss in North America. You show your North American books as a loss, but you're not showing your global books. You're not showing the profits that you're making globally. As a whole, globally, you're making huge money. Here locally, you know you're going to lose some market share to foreign corporations. That's just the way the Free Trade Act, the global economy works. The NAFTA. Now these corporations ain't in the interest of their employees. They're in the interest of themselves, lining the shareholders' pockets, lowering our wages, our benefits. These CEOs fail the company, and guess what? They're walking away with $1 million bonuses. You make a mistake at work and you're getting fired. They can lose billions, and you make a stupid little mistake and you're getting fired. Can you believe that? And where's the government? Where's the investigations into the banks? How do you give a bank a loan? They're the ones that give loans. We know that the the Treasury Department is not an entity of the government, and they're the ones that dictate how many dollars to print. How do you give banks loans? Now, how is it that the banks got a loan, but the big three got a bailout? See, it's about how you word it. We got the bailout. We have to pay it back with interest, you know. And here all the members, the union members, the employees got to take the huge cuts. But then General Motors comes up with $9 billion 8 months later to pay back the government after bankruptcy. That's crazy. This whole thing is a facade. It's a it's bullshit. They're trying to lower everybody's wages, whether union or non-union, so they can hook up the shareholders. Whether union members or you just people out there, I mean, wake up. You're getting screwed by your government and by these corporations and by the unions. I don't care if you're Teamster, CWA, UAW, whatever you are. They're not protecting you no more. You're getting screwed. They're keeping you in the dark. They don't tell you nothing anymore. Except be happy you have a job. If there's any union members out there, I'm asking you, stand up to your unions, your international unions, whether Teamsters, CWA, UAW, and force them to do their job, force them to represent the membership. Otherwise, what do you need a union for? I could say that the union dues that they take out of my check every month. If you're not going to represent me, just give me my money back. Because like I said, you don't own my job. I got hired in through the corporation, not through you, International. You're supposed to work for the membership. If you're not going to do it, step aside. Because we don't need you no more. Because all you're doing is you're taking our money. You're not doing nothing else. And don't sit there and say we had this job because of you. It was the membership back in the day that fought for this. And you guys dropped the ball. You gave it up. These jobs belong to the membership, not to you, International. They're not your jobs. See, you're trying to act like a dictatorship. A communist, socialist, bunch of idiots. You don't control me. You got to know, majority of the United States hates the unions. You're gonna fall. You fail your membership, you're gonna fall. You're already hated by the public. You're a bunch of idiots. You should be, instead of giving the money to these politicians, you should be coming out with commercials. You know, if the U.S. corporations don't support U.S. jobs, we don't support you. That'd be a great commercial. Don't you think? Well, what about the quality of vehicles? See, everybody's got this idea that the UAW, a bunch of lazy people. I don't care if you're white collar, blue collar, you're non-union, you're union. There's bad apples in every group. That's just the way the world is. But I'm going to tell you, we have nothing to do with the quality of the vehicles. Why? Because we build the vehicles, but the parts that go into the vehicles are built in foreign countries. We don't make the parts. We just build the car. So everything that goes into that car, majority of everything that goes into that car, is built from in some foreign country, Mexico, Brazil, China, Indonesia. It's not built here. So guess what? You get cheap labor in those other countries, you get cheap parts. We have nothing to do with the quality of the vehicle. And the other thing about being lazy, I can't do my job until management does their job. And if they're not giving me work to do, what do you want me to do? If they're not giving me the necessary equipment and supplies to do the job, what do you want me to do? So if I'm sitting there reading a newspaper or I fall asleep, whatever, that's on management. Because I'm not just going to stand up and just look stupid. If you're not going to give me something to do, there's nothing else I can do. It's not my job to run the business. It's my job to do the job. And if management's not giving me the job or they're not giving me necessary equipment or supplies, hey, it is what it is. Now, it'd be one thing if I was drinking or doing drugs, then I could sit there and say, okay, I understand why the public be mad. But if I'm just sitting there sleeping or reading the newspaper, it's not my fault. I can't, like I said, I can't do my job until management does their job. But I'm going to tell you, in every group, you got bad apples. In every group, you got people that do drugs or drink. White collar, blue collar, government officials, it doesn't matter where you work, what you do. You could be doctor, lawyers. You always got a group of people within that group that drinks or does drugs. So don't sit there and look at the whole group as a whole because you've seen a few bad apples. Because we all have bad apples in every group. Common sense. But common sense also states that the UAW is not representing their members no more. You take contract houses and you bring them in, unionize them behind your members' backs. You got GM, Chrysler stock. You're more concerned about your members, bringing in more membership in the union dues and protecting the members you have now. I mean, the bottom line is the membership has got to stand up to their international and force them to do a job that we're paying for. Otherwise, when you keep losing benefits or you keep losing pay and the cost of living keeps going up and you're dying of a slow death. Stand up and fight. That's the purpose of being a union. You don't have to agree with everything and everybody, but you have to respect it. But stand for something. Stand for your way of life. Stand for your family's way of life. Stand for your rights, period. Your safety, your health. You're paying these union dues and internationals going to Vegas and hitting these restaurants, eating on your union dues, living it up. Got a nice office off the river there. They show up to work when they feel like it. They don't fall under that attendance policy that they negotiated for us. And they wanted to say, oh, well, the government dictated that under the bankruptcy. Well, how come they didn't dictate for the salary union? How come the salary union don't have the same attendance policy as the hourly folks? How come the white collars don't? How come you don't, international? What's good for us should be good for you. Don't you agree? If it's in the best interest of your membership, you shouldn't have a problem following it yourself. Is this what we're paying union dues for, so you can keep fucking us? Come on. General, Bob King, let's do something. You know, outside of slapping your wife, General, you know, you want to slap your wife around. I'm not your wife. You're not going to slap me around. Because I'm not going to play your bullshit. I'm dead serious. You remember, I work for Chrysler. I don't work for you. But you're supposed to work for me. I'm paying your union dues. Do your job. Do your job like I got to do mine. Come down and help us get the 2003 agreement out of the way and get a brand new fucking 2011 agreement, 2012 agreement. We need a local agreement. Bring your ass down here. You supersede the local on everything. So get your ass down here and get us a local agreement. So my schedule, my flex schedule that you negotiated, don't keep changing on me. And we can have something concrete and consistent. And get your head out of management's ass. And do what you're supposed to and represent your fucking membership. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of you not doing shit, Bob King and General. See, you're playing around. Don't ever think this can't flip back into your lap. Because it can. And it will if you keep doing this shit. It's only a matter of time that the membership's going to get smart and get tired of it. Because there ain't no doubt in my mind that somewhere down the road we're going to get screwed again. There's no doubt in my mind that some way or another that these two-tier, when you go back to negotiations or the company decides to open up the contract because they're still under bankrupt, and they're saying, oh, we're making a loss. Got to open up the contract and renegotiate it again. And guess what? You'll go ahead and sit there and set it up to where the two-tier get a pay raise and we got to come down. The high seniority people have to drop down. So if you raise the two-tier to $22, we'll have to drop down to $22. That sounds like something that you guys would set up for us. You would just totally disregard our way of life and know that when we got approved for our home loans and car loans and putting kids through college and everything, we got approved for what we're making now. We can't afford to go backwards. But we keep losing. We ain't had a pay raise since what, 2003? Everything keeps going up. Gas prices, food. I'm tired of losing. I can understand hypothetically if the company was in a real serious financial situation to where, okay, you take a few dollar pay cut. But man, they've been making profits, what, 8 quarters now? And we keep losing rights. Not money, but rights. Our rights. We have no rights. We don't have no equipment. We don't have supplies to do the job. They keep changing the schedule. You negotiate a flex schedule, that's fine. But that flex schedule don't mean you can freaking change it every damn week. Put the shit in concrete and put it in writing and let us ratify it and leave it at that. Protect the membership or you will fall. It's a guarantee. Because there is no purpose of a union if you can't protect your membership. Give that fucking GM and Chrysler stock back. Don't say it ain't an entity of the UAW, because it is. Because you own a percentage of the corporation. Even though you have a second-tier company overseeing it, it still belongs to the UAW. You still own into the stock of the corporation. It's not public traded stock, it's private stock. But anyway you see it, it's stock. Whether it's controlling or not controlling, doesn't matter. You own stock. And therefore you're not going to do anything to jeopardize the stock, which is a conflict of interest. You cannot protect us. Get rid of the stock. Give it back to the corporation. It's their responsibility, not the UAW's. The responsibility of the UAW is to protect the membership, not to hook up the corporation. Now, I believe in common sense negotiations. When you're negotiating with the corporation, I believe in common sense. You know, if it makes sense, you know, the corporation is not making no money, I can understand taking a pay cut. If there's ways to cut costs and you come up with a better way and it's going to save the company money or whatever, that's fine and dandy. But this flex schedule that we're on ain't saving the company money and ain't doing shit for the company, but fucking the membership. Because all you did was take a shift, you split it in half. Half the shift Monday through Friday, the second half Tuesday through Saturday. All right? Same membership, same amount of manpower working the same amount of hours. Guess what? You're going to pull the same amount of tickets at the end of the week. But instead of the dealership getting the parts in 5 days, now they're getting it in 6 days. Now, how's that benefiting the damn dealership? You want to get the parts out ahead of time? Put us on the 410s. Then if you want to make Friday or Saturday mandatory, then so be it. You can't control your customer base, and therefore you can't control the overtime unless you hire more people outside of your family and friends and all this nepotism. You want a 7-day operation? You want to hire more people? But splitting a shift in half ain't changing nothing. And then you split us in half. You tell us we're all 6 o'clock. And now you come back now and now you want to have me work Tuesday through Friday at 6, but you want to put my Saturday, my 5th day of my work week, at a 5 o'clock. Because you're hooking up certain freaking members, giving them what they want, while the rest of us get screwed. You got the few dictating for the rest of us. I say fall to the union. Fall, because you ain't worth a shit. You every single one of you ought to be replaced. We ought to be able to vote our international president in and our vice president and everybody there down. We should be able to, the membership should vote you all in. Not these delegates. It's fixed. Because the local union is going to send the delegates that suck ass and play the damn game and got a cake job and getting hooked up. You're going to get your buddies down there. You're a dictatorship. You're communist, socialist bastards is what you are. Fucking us over. Glorified pimps taking our money and ain't doing shit. I will fight you every step of the way, International. Every step of the way. Because like I said, if you can't protect us, you can't protect nobody. You won't even be able to protect yourself. Do you understand that? That's not a threat. That's reality. You don't scare me. And I'm not bullshitting. Start representing, or you're going to feel me up your ass every step of the way. Every time you fucking take a step, you're going to feel me. You understand that? You will fall if I fall. You will fall if your membership falls. You better find your foundation before you crumble. And you will crumble if you don't get back down to the foundation of our union. What we first stood for when the union came to be about. I have no more to say. If I got more to say, I'll make more videos. Membership, I'm asking you, stand up and fight. You work for this corporation. You don't work for the UAW. You can't be fired. The UAW is supposed to work for you. So stand up and fight. Fight against your international. Force them to do their job. Force them to represent all membership, not just a few. You need to get rid of the contract house, international. You need to get rid of the two-tier, international. And you need to make us all equals, all making the same rate for doing the same job. And pulling our rate down to equal us out with the two-tier just don't work, see? That's not in the best interest of the membership. And it definitely won't be in the best interest of you. Hear my words, because they ain't just words. Do your responsibility, International General Bob King. Get in there and get us a local agreement. Get this flex schedule set in stone. Give us something to ratify and be done. You should show your faces down to each local every so often. You're not that damn busy, okay? Show your face. Let your membership know that you're out here for us. Don't sit there and try to bullshit us and blow smoke up our ass. Bring your ass down here. Bring your ass down to my fucking local. Down to my work. Let us know you have our interest at hand. When you start representing me, I'll stop making these videos. But see, I told you, you keep screwing me, and I'll make sure you don't get no more membership. Because this video explains it clearly. If you can't represent us, you can't represent nobody. So what good are you? How do you plan on getting Toyota, Volkswagen, and Honda? Or any other car company? Now you're even representing casinos and municipalities, and you can't even represent them. See, the UAWs, United Auto Workers. Now, how do you get into the municipalities and in the casinos. How's that benefit us, the members that work for the big three? That don't benefit us. It benefits you. See, they have nothing to do. Casinos have nothing to do with the big three's contract. So how does it benefit us? Because you represent the casinos or the municipalities like Mount Clemens, which is part of Local 412. How does that benefit the membership? Just like how do we benefit? How does the municipalities or the casinos benefit from us? They don't. They don't benefit, period. The only one that benefits from this whole fucking thing is you, the International. You're all making money while we're all getting fucked. Whether you work for the casino or you work for the municipalities, you work for any other corporation that has to do with the UAW, and you're a UAW member, stand up to your fucking union. Stand up and demand that they fucking represent the membership fairly, equally, with morals and respect, and not greed and selfishness. Stop hiding things behind the zipper clause, International. Have some appearance. We want clarity. We want to be able to see what you're doing, what you're negotiating. If you're in the interest of the damn membership, you shouldn't be hiding nothing. Get your finger out of your ass and do your jobs. Like I said, if I got something else to say, I'll say it. I'll make another video. And I'll continue to do this until you start representing your membership. So anyways, this is it. I hope the membership gets smart. I hope they start standing up, protecting their rights and their interests, their way of life. I hope they stand up and force you, International, to do your job. And that's represent your members. And at this point, I guess this is it. So I'd like to say goodbye to the membership, to the ones that see what I'm saying. They can see exactly what I'm saying. And the ones that don't see what I'm saying, well, you got your rights. You got a right to believe what you want to believe. But I'm going to tell you right now, in the last 14 years, you ain't gained shit. You lost. Now, my thing is, we had 1.5 million members at one point. 1.5 million members. And we weren't even strong then. Now we're down to 120,000 members. Now you got to say to yourself, you don't go from 1.5 to 120,000 because International is making all the right decisions. You don't say to yourself, in the last 14 years, we've lost not just money, we've lost rights because International is doing something right. With their scare tactics and telling people either vote for this contract or you're losing your job, or take this buyout, be happy you're leaving with something, just so they can bring in the two-tier. See, I'm telling you, International works for the corporation. They're here to line their own pockets, take care of themselves. They said it themselves, best to save the body and cut off the limb. Well, they're saving themselves because they're going to bring all these two tiers in there and replace us. so the corporations get cheaper labor costs so they can line the shareholders' pockets. That's what it comes down to. Common sense. We'll fight another day. When is that day? 14 years we've been going through this. Losing, 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 losing. That little 4 hour strike we did back in 2007? 4 hours? Are you kidding me? They had that damn contract negotiated. They tried to damn put a fucking facade up to make it look like they were fighting for something. They weren't fighting for shit. They already had the contract settled. And we all went out there and voted, walked the picket line for 4 hours. It's all bullshit. You went out there and picketed for nothing. International was bullshitting. They had the contract done. They own GM Chrysler stock. Their interest is with the company. They're corporate watchdogs. They're bringing in the two-tier for cheaper labor so they can continue to screw us. The UAW cannot represent us. They're no good. They lost their way. They don't know how to represent us no more. Boycott these damn companies that don't want to protect American jobs. You don't support American jobs? We don't support you. Take your product somewhere else. We'll support whoever supports American jobs. See? All that bullshit, what you can do for your country. No, it's what the country can do for us. We done fought for our country. The country is made up of man. Not a communist fucking government that wants to supersede and rule a people into the ground for greed. My thing, what is the purpose of living if you're going to suffer? I don't want to die of a slow death. I'd rather die of a fast death. But either way, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. It kind of sucks, you know, you see these families and they lost their jobs, lost their houses, and they're all homeless. Not all of them, but there are some homeless families out there. See, the statistics don't tell you all that shit, see? They only tell you about the ones that just lost their jobs. They don't tell you about the ones that already been kicked off unemployment. So the media, they put out there what they want to put out there. They're bullshitting. They're programming your minds to make it look like everything's hunky-dory. But there's millions of people in the United States starving with no jobs. What do you think Glenn Beck got kicked off of Fox News for? They're all bought by Wall Street, you know? Tired of him opening his mouth. Take him off the show. Guess what? We're not going to give you no advertising dollars. Just like the news. Come on. When the news reports what they want to report. When we were out there with that 4-hour strike, they came up and talked to me. Guess what? They didn't air it. You know why? Because they're not gonna hurt the ones that feed them. See, the big three, they give them all those advertising dollars. They ain't gonna go against them. It's obvious that the media is against the unions. And I'm going to tell you, I'm old school union. I totally agree with unions. I believe in having a union. I don't believe in this new union, this new way of thinking. This new union has screwed us. It became part of Wall Street. These new unions ain't worth a shit. whether it be the CWA, the UAW, Teamsters, they're all a bunch of crooks. They ain't doing shit for their membership no more. You sit there and give all of our money to the damn politicians, they ain't stopping them. Come on, huh? Look at the Teamsters. You know, they represent truck drivers and all that. Now, all this money they give to the politicians, and guess what? Now you got all these drivers from Mexico over here driving now, eliminating U.S. jobs and cutting our wages. You're bringing all these foreign people on visas to work in the United States, and you want to tell us those are jobs that Americans don't want? You kidding me? There's millions of people without jobs in the United States. I'm telling you. I'm sure they want a job instead of starving out in the street. And then you're shipping all of our jobs overseas. So between shipping our jobs overseas and let all the foreigners come over here on visas and take whatever other jobs are left, what's the UAW doing about that, huh? What are you doing to protect U.S. jobs? Now you're over there, China and these other countries, trying to unionize them. You have no business over in those countries. Every time I call, can't even get a hold of it. Oh, they're gone. Over there in China or somewhere. International belongs in the United States protecting American jobs. Period. Stop trying to unionize everybody else. You can't even take care of the ones you got now. I'm going to stop ranting. International, I hope you do the right thing. Have a good day.